Hello dear student, very good morning to all of you. Hope you all are doing well and welcome to our geography class of OPSC and UPSC foundation batch. In this batch we are going to cover your entire syllabus for prelims and mains of your OPSC as well as UPSC. It also include, we are going to cover you about the NCERT, so that you will not have any FOMO of leaving the NCERT, and we are going to cover your entire Odisha specific content like Odisha geography, Odisha history and all these things. Okay, so in this course you will also get the CSAT, so that CSAT will be not a problem for your preparation, and here we are also providing test series for your prelims and study material, one-on-one mentorship and recorded lecture is also available. And to join this course you have to download our application, or you can see all our faculties. They are best faculties, you will get at comfort of your home. Both online, offline and hybrid mode of our classes is available. So you can join. The price is also very nominal, and this price is for limited number of seats. After that the price will increase, and to join that you can contact in this number 7217630385. Okay, so let's start our geography class. Let's start our geography class. Already we have discussed about the plate tectonics and different kinds of movements and their outcome, what are the things that is going to be happen. So let me revise you once again. So I think you have already studied all these things, so let me revise once again. So the earth, you know, lithosphere, the earth lithosphere, first of all lithosphere is equals to crust plus upper portion of so the lithosphere is earth crust plus upper portion of the mantle, and that you know the lithosphere is not a single block, rather it is divided into multiple plates. Okay, lithosphere is divided into multiple plates, and these plates can be major plates and these plates can be minor plates. Okay, and these plates, they are not stationary, they are in constant motion, they are interacting with one another. That is what called as plate tectonics. One second bas. Okay, so they are in constant motion and they are called as plate tectonics. So these plates, whenever they are moving in different directions, so there will be interactions, and this plate interaction can be classified as convergent boundary, this can be classified as divergent, this can be classified as transform. Okay, so convergent boundary, divergent boundary and transform boundary. And we know that the plates can be divided into continental plate and oceanic plates. The plates can be continental, means over there is a continent, and it can be oceanic plates. and already we know that the continent plates are generally made up of, or continental crust is generally made up of Cl, silicon and aluminum, Cl, and oceanic crust or oceanic plates are generally made up of सीमा, सीमा कोई लड़की नहीं है, Cl plus magnesium. So this is light weight. क्या है ये? Light weight, and this is heavy. This is lightweight and this is heavy. So when there is an interaction between two plates, when both are coming together and colliding, whichever is heavy, so that plate will be go inside. Okay? So that means whenever there is a interactions between oceanic plates and continental plates, generally oceanic plates is heavy, so it is go inside. And whenever there is an interaction between oceanic plates and oceanic plates, the oceanic plates that is heavy go inside the earth. Okay? So this is the plate. So let's see about next thing. So there will be, whenever there is a interaction, first we are going to see about the convergence interaction. Convergent boundary interaction. In this convergent boundary, that means both the plates, they are coming towards each other. So here the plate interaction can be oceanic and oceanic. Whenever there is a convergent interaction between oceanic and oceanic, so if the heavy, let's say this oceanic plate is heavy, so it will go inside. Okay? So that is what led to the formation of island arc. Island arc already we have seen in Pacific ring of fire. So there are so many island arcs, so I am going to show you. So if there is an interaction between convergent boundary interaction, one is ocean, second one is continent, so that is what led to the formation of fold mountain plus volcanic peak. This too is going to be happen, and there is a convergent interaction between continent and continent, so that is what led to the formation of, here you can give the example of Andes plus Rockies. Here you can give the example of Aleutian Island. मैं आपको दिखा दूंगा मैप में कहाँ है. I think let me show you Aleutian Island. मैंने कल भी आपको दिखाया था. I have already shown you multiple times, but still I just want to show you. Where is this island arc located? ठीक है. So if you see about this Google Earth, so I generally use this Google Earth for while teaching this geography. So you can see all these arcs, you can see these are arcs. So you can see these are the arcs, you can, just a second. You can see these are the arcs, island arc you will find in this Pacific ring of fire. This is what happened because of Pacific plate is moving inside another oceanic plate, and Pacific plate being a heavier, bigger, so it go inside, and that is what led to the formation of island arc and island chain of mountain. You can see here. ठीक है, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is whenever there is a continent and continent plate interaction, so that is what led to the formation of only fold mountain. Fold mountain को हम generally ऐसा लिखते हैं, mount करके लिखते हैं. And whenever there will be interaction of continent and continent, there will be no volcanic activity. So no volcanic activity. But strong earthquake will happen. But strong earthquake will happen because here two plates are colliding and have immense energy, so they are released in the form of severe earthquake. So dear student, very good morning to all of you. Hope my voice is audible, my audio, everything is okay or not. So please let me know, and are you able to understand everything or not? Alex, all good, कोई issue नहीं है. Alex, please let me know, सब बढ़िया ना, समझ में आ रहा है, कोई issue है. प्लीज़ कीप दिस सेशन इंटरैक्टिव. इट शुड नॉट बी लाइक मैं बस बताते रहूँगा, आपको ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए. यू शुड लेट मी नो इफ यू आर फेसिंग एनी काइंड ऑफ प्रॉब्लम. वी ऑलरेडी डिस्कस सेम थिंग इन द प्रीवियस क्लासेस. ठीक है, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. सो दिस इज व्हाट अबाउट द कन्वर्जेंट बाउंड्री. सो लेट्स डिस्कस अबाउट द divergence boundary. So whenever there will be divergence boundary interaction, here two plates are divergent, mean two plates are moving away. When they are moving away, so if it is happen below the land और लैंड के नीचे होती है तो क्या बनेगी, रिफ्ट वैली बनेगी. Classic example is African Rift Valley. African Rift Valley मैंने ऑलरेडी आपको दिखाया था on eastern side of the Africa. So there is a big rift is happening, that is what called African Rift Valley. And second one, if it is happening below the ocean, so that is what led to the formation of mid-oceanic ridges. This is what we have discussed in the previous classes. ठीक है. And third type of boundary interaction is called as transform boundary interaction. Transform boundary interaction. In this transform boundary interaction, what here is going to happen, one plate will move, here there will be like this plate will be moved downward, this plate will be upward. So no earthquake, no volcanism, not earthquake. Here there will be no volcanism because no plate is moving inside, so there will be no volcanism, but there will be severe earthquake. इसका क्लासिक एग्जाम्पल आई हैव गिवन यू टू एग्जाम्पल. वन इज कॉल्ड सान एंड्रियास फॉल्ट. एग्जाम्पल क्या है, सान एंड्रियास फॉल्ट. सान एंड्रियास फॉल्ट ऑफ यूएसए, कैलिफोर्निया स्टेट. Next one is Anatolia Plate. Anatolia Plate is located in Turkey, and this is the reason Turkey is most prone to earthquake. So Anatolia, Anatolia Fault, ये कहाँ है, ये टर्की में है. ठीक है. So San Andreas Fault and Anatolia Fault. So this is what you have to understand, you have to remember. This is very important from your exam perspective. So all these things we have discussed. So let's go back and start new class from today. So you know things that will start from new thing from today only. Chalo. Yes. So this is what we have discussed so far. Yes. So already we have seen the plate tectonics and boundary interaction. What are the positive outcome? Okay, very good Alex. चलो अच्छा है, everything is good. चलो. So how plate tectonics is an improvement over continental drift theory. So continental drift theory definitely tried to propose that continent currently we are seeing in the location was not there always. So there is a constant movement among the different continents. So that is what happening. But how it is improving over the previous theories. So let's see that. देखो continental drift theory says that it is the continent that is what drifting. ठीक है. So that is what led to the lot of question, and they fails to answer this question. But plate tectonics saying that it is not the continent, it is the plates they are moving, and on the top of the plates all the continents are located, so they are moving. So that is what they are saying. So plate tectonics explain that mechanism of motion of tectonic plates, while continental drift theory left this question completely unsolved. So they are not able to given the answer what are the driving force कि कौन उसको move करवा रहा है. लेकिन आपका plate tectonics theory clearly explain that what are the real driving mechanism behind that. So tectonic plates have been constantly moving over the globe throughout the history of Earth. That is not the continental that move as believed by the Wagner. देखो Wagner said that so there is a super continent was exists that is called Pangea, and it is surrounded by super ocean is called Panthalassa. So it is not talking about what happening before that, but plate tectonics is clearly saying that okay. So second thing is that देखो, the Wegener said that at one point of time all continents are together and then they start moving. So it cannot talk about what happening before that. But this plate tectonics theory explains that clearly. This Pangea, the super landmass, is happening at one point of time. So before that, all landmass was moving in different directions. So that means still all our geological history, always our plates are moving in different direction, and not just this continental drifting started after the Pangea. Even before that, there exists this movement of plate tectonics. Okay. So you can see that. So first thing, the Wegener had thought that all continents have initially existed as a supercontinent. और supercontinent का नाम क्या था? Pangea. Okay. In the form of Pangea. ठीक है. However, the later discovery revealed that the supercontinent masses resulted on the plates have been wandering all throughout the geological period. So that means only the Wegener said that landmass was at one point of time, they are held together at Pangea. That big landmass is called Pangea, and after that they drifted apart. So what happening before that, it is not given by the continental drift theory, but this is explained by the plate tectonics theory. So it is clearly saying that all throughout the geological history, our plate are moving constantly in different directions. So next is, at time Wegener proposed that theory of continental drift. Most scientists believe that Earth was solid. So whenever the continental drift theory is given by Wegener, so everyone believe Earth is motionless solid body, but the you can say the plate tectonics theory is clearly emphasized that Earth, inside the Earth, it is not a motionless, rather it is a dynamic body. Okay, so this is what at that time it was believed that Earth is a solid body without having any motion, but after this plate tectonics, it clearly explained that there are a lot of internal dynamics that is also going on inside the Earth. So all these things is improvement or helpful, or you can say improvement over the continental drift theory, and indeed this is the biggest discovery of 1960s. So that is what helpful for geographer, geologist to understand the Earth evolution and detailed process and how it is happening. So what are the forces behind this earthquake, volcanism, and all these things, it is very much helpful for us. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. So critical examination of the plate tectonics theory, but still there are a lot of shortcomings. There are certain questions where plate tectonics fails to give us the complete answer. So what are that? So first one is driving, force driving plate movement. So there are some questions yet not able to answer by the plate tectonics. For example, unclear mechanism of convection. देखो, we have said that the convection current and convective cells. Convective cells means here the rise and then plate are moving apart and then convective cell. This goes on continuing like that. But still we are not clear. So theory does not clearly explain how the convection current originate and their pattern, how they are interact with the plate movement. It is not yet clear because we have never ever gone there, and it is very difficult to go inside 5 kilometers of the Earth. So no one is there to understand what's happened. So very good morning dear student. कैसा चल रहा है सब? Audio, video, everything is okay. So next is friction and resistance. आप imagine करो. So this is a big plate. So big plate, it is moving over the asthenosphere. So there will be lot of friction, and how come our plate is overcoming this friction and moving? So that is what also big question we have to answer. So as for the physical law, friction should occur between the solid lithospheric plates and semi-fluid asthenosphere. This theory fails to account how this friction is overcome to enable plates movement. Let's say these two things. Let's say this is the remote and this is a plate and it is moving. So there will be a friction. So this plate need to overcome this friction, but this theory is not accounting that, and it is, if a big heavy mass is putting, I am here, so there will be a lot of friction, and how this friction is overcome, this theory is not explained properly. So next one is balance with asthenosphere. Just imagine. So asthenosphere जो होती है, soft layer is about 180 kilometers. So let's say this is the 180 kilometer thickness asthenosphere, and on the top of that there will be a heavy lithosphere. So this is what it is talking about. So theory does not adequately explain how this thin ductile layer support move plate varying thickness. You can see like this very thickness, this is the asthenosphere, on the top of the asthenosphere lithosphere is moving. So this is difference, you know, difference mass of plates, mass is also varying. So that is what led to the unbalance, that is what led to the, you know, create balancing effect. So that might be problem. So this theory is not able to explain. ठीक है, if there is no balance, आपने अगर कभी देखे होंगे, you know, in non balance जब होती है vibration शुरू हो जाता है, so that is also led to the further earthquake. This theory is not able to explain that also. So you can see in case of fold mountain, so for example this plate tectonics definitely helpful to understand what are the reason for formation of fold mountain. Generally the fold mountain is formed when two continental plates they come together, because of their compressive force they fold upward and led to the formation of fold mountains. ठीक है, also explain the block mountains and volcanic mountains. ठीक है, so they are, you know, well explained. But problem is that just imagine I am giving you one example. So let's say this is a big lithospheric plates, this is a big lithospheric plates, and on the top of it let's say this is a huge mountain like Himalayas exist. So there will be unbalance of that happen ना. समझ पा रहे हो नहीं समझ पा रहे हो? देखो, let's say this is our surface, let's say this is our surface of the earth, let's say this is, and on here there is a big Himalaya mountain like that. So if there is a Himalaya and this region is plain, so that is what it is, that will tilting of that. समझ पा रहे हो? अगर हमने एक surface पे one place there is a huge mountain of 8 kilometer height and another area there is a plain, so the heavier element will be, you know, little bit of tilting downward, but this is what not happen in our surface. So they maintain a proper balance of it. So how this is happen, how our earth is maintaining this balance? On the, you can see example, if you take the example of India, I am drawing the India map, sorry, please you should understand how you can draw India map. Take the example of India. So this is the Himalaya, let's say this is the big Himalaya with 8 kilometer height, and this plain is hardly, this plain area it's hardly, I am taking maximum 300 meters. So that means a big mountain on the top, so there will be chances that this portion may be raised and this portion may be go downward, but this is what not happen. So this raise the question how our earth is able to balance this difference in weight. On the one hand this Himalaya is having huge weight, heavy weight, but this is plain, so light weight. How this balance is being maintained, this is not answered by the plate tectonics. There is another theory that is called isostasy. So they actually give answer, but this is not important for your examination perspective. Those who are studying geography optional, so I think they know about that very much. जो geography पढ़ते हैं वो उसको अच्छे से लिख पाते हैं. तो so this theory is not able to give answer to this balance phenomena. So next one is about the earthquake and seismic activity. Next one is about this earthquake and seismic activity. देखो, this plate tectonics theory, no doubt they have given very good answer of what are the reason for occurrence of earthquake. So generally all this earthquake are found on the, one second bas. ठीक है, so generally earthquake are found on the plate margin. So whenever there is two plate, like, you know, for example this is a plate and another plate, so if they are moving together or converging, so earthquake will be in vicinity. Whenever the plate is moving away, so again the earthquake will find in the plate margin, and whenever there will be transform boundary interaction, that means one plate, this is another plate, this plate is moving this direction, this is moving this direction, again you will find in this region. But the plate tectonics theory fails to answer that, you know, some reason even earthquake happen deep inside the plates also. If you take the example of Gujarat, I think you know about Kutch region of the Gujarat. So this region is far away from any plate boundary, but still there are severe earthquake, Bhuj earthquake of happened in 2001, sorry. Bhuj earthquake happened in 2001. So this is in Gujarat, earthquake happened, one second. So this earthquake happened in 2001. So because despite the fact that this is not located in any plate boundary, ठीक है? So earthquake primarily occur along the plate boundary where stress accumulate due to relative प्लेट मोशन. जब हम अर्थक्वेक के बारे में पढ़ेंगे थोड़े बहुत और क्लैरिटी आपको आ जाएगी. गुड मॉर्निंग रश्मिता, गुड मॉर्निंग जगन, and good morning Alex, good morning other dear student. So this is what the limitation of it, and there are other limitation of this theory as well. ठीक है, you can see about why this earthquake happen in Gujarat and why this Japan is also prone to severe earthquake. आपको ये दोनों चीज़ों को समझना पड़ेगा. Japan is located in the tri-junction. You can see this is the Japan. Japan is located between the three plate boundary interaction. So this is the Eurasian plate, and this is Philippine plates, and this is Pacific plates. All these three plates are interacting. So because of that, this Japan region is prone to earthquake. हम थोड़े टाइम के बाद बड़े अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे. जब मैं पढ़ाऊंगा इसको भी मैं आपको समझा दूंगा. ठीक है. So next one is about the volcanism. देखो, generally volcanism happen whenever there is a plate boundary interaction. In case of convergent plate boundary interaction, the oceanic plate will be go inside and melt and then come out in the form of volcanic mountain or volcanic chain. In case of divergence plate boundary, so there will be eruption of volcanic at the oceanic. If it is happening in the ocean, they are called mid-oceanic ridges. If it is happening over a land, then it's called a rift valley. So both case there will be volcanic eruption happen, but there are some location where there will be hotspot volcanic activity. Hotspot volcanic activity means this location is fixed. So always from the bottom of the you can say bottom of the earth, some volcano will constantly erupted at constant location, but on the top of that our plate is moving. So that is what led to the formation of this type of the hotspot volcanic activity. You can see this location is fixed. देखो, that let's take the example. This location is fixed. This location is fixed, but this plate is moving. This location is fixed, the plate is moving. So because of that, you can see there will be a chain of volcanic hotspot island will be formed, but the plate tectonics is not able to answer that question as well. Okay. होप इट इज़ क्लियर. समझ में आ रहा है, नहीं आ रहा है बताओ. ज्योग्राफी इज ऑल अबाउट अंडरस्टैंडिंग, इट इज़ नॉट अबाउट रटाफिकेशंस. ठीक है. सो यू कैन सी वॉल्केनिक एक्टिविटी इज वेल एक्सप्लेन एट अ डाइवर्जेंट बाउंड्री, फॉर एग्जांपल मिड ओशियन रिजेस एंड कन्वर्जेंट बाउंड्री पैसिफिक रिंग ऑफ फायर. सो हॉटस्पॉट वोल्केनो इज नॉट एक्सप्लेन. हॉटस्पॉट वोल्केनो मीन्स there are some place on the earth, the temperature is very high, so constantly volcanic eruption is happening at that point. So this location of this hotspot volcano inside earth is fixed. So on the top of it the plate is moving. So that is the reason the chain of hotspot volcano mountain is formed. You can see therefore this plate is moving upward. So that is the reason this mountain activities happen, and because of this hotspot activity lot of islands you find on the near to the reunion island of Indian Ocean. So hotspot they are formed because of hotspot volcanic activity. When because of that our Deccan Trap is formed. जब हम इंडिया के बारे में पढ़ेंगे मैं आपको बता दूंगा how this hotspot volcano activity is helpful for formation of Deccan Trap. मैंने बोला ना geography is all about mystery. सब चीज़ों का आंसर आपको अभी नहीं मिलेगी. It's जैसे जैसे हम आगे बढ़ेंगे you'll get to know about all these answers. ठीक है. So hotspot volcano. So classic example Hawaiian and Iceland. ठीक है. So Deccan Trap is also formed because of that. But our plate tectonics theory is fails to give answer about this hotspot volcanic activity. चलो बहुत बढ़िया आगे बढ़ते हैं. So ठीक है. So देखो conceptual gap, this theory largely treat earth surface process without fully integrating deeper mental dynamics, isostatic balance, gravitational variation. Exact source of driving forces remain debated. देखो no one is ever visited earth interiors, so whatever we are doing on the basis of hypothesis, so definitely there will be certain limitation of this theory. So but despite having all this limitation, so far this is the best theory, this is most accepted theory, and it is giving answer to lot of mystery or lot of geographical mystery. So it is most accepted theory as of now. So what are the importance of this theory? So you can see it's a geological foundation framework. So it is helpful for understanding how volcanism is happening, how seismicity is happening, how earthquake is happening, different landforms, all these things it is explaining. For geographer, understanding the landforms, the endogenic forces It is helpful for understanding endogenic forces and formation of different landforms also. And for mineralogist and economic geologist, it is very much important to understand why different types of rocks form, which region is having good mineral potential. For that, this theory is very much helpful. And it is also broader scientific and practical importance. For example, understanding which region is prone to earthquake, which region is prone to the volcanism, and which regions are prone to hotspot activity. All these things helpful for preparing disaster maps, prevention of the disaster. Okay, so this is all about the plate tectonics theory. So in case you have any doubt, please let me know and reach out to me. So definitely I am going to help you all. So आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is about the volcanism and earthquake. So आज हम volcanism के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. So what is volcanoes? And starting with the volcanism. Volcanism also known as volcanic activity. So refer to the, you can see, eruption of solid, liquid, gaseous or mixture of from the interior of earth or any astronomical body. So this volcanism is not only happening in India, earth, it is happening all over all these heavenly or planet bodies. So ये क्या होती है, अर्थ इंटीरियर के अंदर में बहुत सारे मोल्टन मटेरियल होती है. दिस इज द अर्थ इंटीरियर, दिस इज अर्थ. सो देयर आर सो दिस पर्टिकुलरली दिस वॉल्केनिक एक्टिविटीज हैपन इन द asthenosphere. कहाँ होती है? asthenosphere. So from asthenosphere it can come out to the surface in the form of through the vents, and it erupts lot of solid, liquid, gaseous material onto the surface of the earth, and that is what called volcanism. ठीक है. So such as अर्थ पे भी होती है, मून्स पे भी होते हैं, एस्ट्रॉइड्स पे होती है, कॉमेट्स पे भी होती है. So this volcanic activity is not only restricted to the earth, so it can be found all over the astronomical body. Okay. देन आप क्वेश्चन करोगे कि जो वॉल्केनो के अंदर इतने सारे टेम्परेचर हीट होती है, देन वेयर दे आर गेटिंग ऑल दिस एनर्जीज, कहाँ से वो एनर्जी लेके आते हैं? सो वॉल्केनिज्म इज प्राइमरली ड्रिवन बाय इंटरनल हीट. तो अर्थ के अंदर एक इंटरनल हीट है, एंड दैट इज द ड्राइविंग फोर्स बिहाइंड द वॉल्केनिज्म. देन आप बोलोगे कि वो ड्राइविंग फोर्स क्या है, कहाँ से एनर्जी लेती है? Because of radioactive decay. So it is believed that earth interior is having lot of radioactive material like uranium, thorium, potassium. So whenever they decay, they release lot of energy. The second one is about the residual heat. Residual heat क्या होता है? When our earth as a planet formed, so it was a hot wall and outer layer is cooled down on which we are currently staying, but internal layer not yet cooled, so there is huge amount of temperature there, and that is what driving. Third one is the tidal force. So this is what I have already told you, because of the frictions. So this is energy is there. So this internal heat lead to the partial melting of the solid material and formation of substance into gases. So this heat is led to the formation of liquid, and that liquid finds in a way to the earth surface where there is a weaker zone. So there is a liquid state. If there is a weaker zone, it can come out on the surface of the earth. That is what led to the volcanic eruption or volcanism. Volcanism is entire process. Volcanism is the entire process. Okay. You can see the causes of volcanism. Volcanism का क्या क्या causes हो सकता है? First one is temperature difference. Temperature difference is an important factor for happening of the volcanism. Second one is convection current in the mantle. मैंने already आपको बताया था. Let's say this is a plate. This is one plate and this is another plates. ठीक है. So and there is a plate here also. So whenever this is another plate, so whenever देखो, whenever this you can say the upward movement of this volcanic material, that is called rising limb, led to the formation of new crust here, and this pushes the both this plate on the left side and right side. This plate, because of heavy, it go inside, and at a inside the temperature is very high, even thousands of degree, and so this plates melt down and form the magma, and then magma again move in this way. It is moving like a cycle, and this is what called convective cycle. ठीक है, convective cycle उसको हम बोलते हैं. So this is what second. Third one is about the divergence plate boundary. So what is how divergent plate boundary is responsible for volcanism? Let's see that. What is divergence plate boundary? So this is one plate, this is another plate. So whenever there is a divergence, so plates are moving apart. So this is and this is. When they are moving apart, so there will be weaker zone. Through this weaker zone, so easily the magma can come out of the surface and form the volcanic eruption. So along the fault zone, so along the fracture of the earth crust caused by plate tectonic activity. Okay? So fissure typic volcanic activity is found, and again we can find the volcanic activity in the convergent plate boundary. So what do we mean by that? So whenever two plate will be moved towards another, heavier plates will be go inside, this is heavier plates go inside, and this inside it will be melt down, then it will be come out to the surface forming mountain chains or volcanic islands. Okay? So you can see there are the reason 5 reason for having the volcanism. You can add one more reason of this volcanism. You can say it's because of hotspot. क्या होता है उसको बोलते हैं hotspot. SPOT, hotspot volcanism. Hotspot volcano means they are having fixed location, they are having hottest part of the earth, from there constant volcanic eruption is happening, and on the top of it is the plates, they are moving gradually, so they are keep on erupting the volcanic materials. So that kind of volcanic eruption is called hotspot volcanic activity. ठीक है, ये point आप एक बार note down कर लेना, ये भी है पढ़ लेना. So what is volcano? Volcano is an opening or vent on the earth crust through which gases, molten rocks, that is what called lava, ash, stream come to the other material are ejected during an eruption. So volcano are typically found in region where earth crust is weak or fractured. So they are generally found in region where the earth crust is weak. If it is weak, then it is quite easy for the you can say the molten material to come out of the surface. So dear student, good morning to all of you. So many students have joined. Hope you all are doing well and reading. Chalo. So next you can see the plate tectonics boundaries, subduction zone, rift valley and hotspot mantle. So these weak zone allow magma form from internal heat and pressure to rise through the crust and erupt at the surface. So whenever this molten material, they find a weak zone, they come out of the surface and solidify to form different landforms. So उसको हमें देखने वाले हैं क्या क्या landform form करते हैं. So nature of volcanic activity. So you can see the volcano is an endogenic process. Endogenic process is a process that happen inside the earth. Exogenic process is a process that happen outside the earth. Okay. So a geological process that originate from within the earth. Intensity and explosiveness of volcanic eruption depends on the factors such as magma composition, because some of the volcano, they are very violent. Whenever there will be eruption, that can damage the entire city, create earthquake. So what are the factors for having this explosive volcanic activity? It depends on the magma composition, कि जो magma होता है, what are the composition of it, whether it is basic, whether it is acidic. Next one is gas content. Some of the gas, they can erupt with violently. ठीक है. So next one is about the viscosity. What is the viscosity? Viscosity means fluid frictions. तो आपको देख सकते हो water is having less viscous, आप उसको गिराओगे तो तुरंत गिर जाता है, but honey is having high viscous. आप देख सकते हो एक होते हैं जिसको हम बोलते हैं wax. आप कोई एक कैंडल ले लो, कैंडल लेने के बाद जलाने के बाद जो wax आती है, they are highly viscous fluid. ठीक है. So and pressure. So all these things decide the nature of volcanic activity. कोई violent होती है, कोई peaceful होती है. All these things is decided by that. So what is the difference between magma and lava? So there will be two different same material, same molten material. When it is inside the earth, they are called magma. उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? magma बोलते हैं. जब वो earth के interior पे होते हैं, उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? magma बोलते हैं. When they come out of the surface, they are called lava. कैसे उसको याद रखोगे? लावा मोबाइल एक था, तो लावा मोबाइल आप सरफेस पे ही यूज कर सकते हो. सो यू कैन से लावा इज ऑन द सरफेस. ठीक है. सो नेक्स्ट इज टाइप्स ऑफ लावा. लावा जो होती है वो कितने तरह की होती है? ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ केमिकल कंपोजिशन. ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ केमिकल कंपोजिशन वी कैन क्लासीफाई दैट इनटू एसिडिक. उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? एसिडिक बोलते हैं. अंडेसाइटिक भी बोलते हैं, कंपोजिट लावा भी बोलते हैं. एंड अदर इज कॉल्ड बासाल्ट और बेसिक, उसको भी सॉरी बासाल्ट इज कॉल्ड बेसिक और इट कैन से basaltic. It is also called shield lava. Shield means height is having very less height lava is called shield lava. So let's discuss one by one their difference. So first one is about the viscosity. Obviously if it is acidic, high silica content, it cannot flow large distance. It is like a waxy material. ये क्या होगा, बनेगा आपका waxy material बनती है. ठीक है. So waxy, and here it is, if it is basic means it's having lot of minerals, of metallic minerals. Whenever it is having lot of metallic minerals, definitely it will be highly fluid. मैं आपको दो एग्जाम्पल देती हूँ. कोई एक सिलिकॉन बेस्ड मिनरल को आप मेल्ट कर लो. मेल्ट करने के बाद जब उसको ऊपर से गिराओगे, इट विल नॉट फ्लो हाई स्पीड. ऑन द अदर एंड इफ यू मेल्ट कोई आयरन, nickel, cobalt, manganese, so they will flow very fast. So from here you can say acidic volcano is viscous. That means it will not flow very fast. If you pour from a height, highly viscous fluid will move very fast. Water is a viscous, very low viscous. Okay. Temperature. So temperature of acidic lava is low and high melting point. So because of that, it is not in a complete molten state. If there will be acidic volcanic eruption, it will not move fast and not able to travel long distance. But the basic lava is having high temperature and completely fluid state. So if there is a eruption of basic type of volcano, so it will be move a long distance. It will move a long distance. वो move travel कर सकता है. आप समझो, अगर if there is a eruption of this basic type, so people stay here. So it will be easily catch them and kill them. But in this here, if there is a eruption of volcanic eruption happen, if there is a volcanic eruption happen here, so it will travel to the people very slow. So damage because of flowing of volcano is very less. ठीक है. So silica content is very high. Here the silica content is low, rich in iron and magnesium. So that is the reason it's called basic, because metals are there. Here the silica is very high, so because of that it is called acidic. ठीक है. सो कलर क्या है, सिलिकॉन मेक्स दिस लाइट कलर, सो दिस मेटल्स मेक दिस डार्क कलर. सो फ्लो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या होता है, फ्लो स्लोली एंड सॉलिडिफाई क्विकली. सो जस्ट लाइक द कैंडल, टेक ए कैंडल एंड collect all this wax. Once you are hitting this wax, it became liquid, and once it is cooled down, it is solidify very fastly. It will not going to move a long distance, but here it will spread easily over a large area. So that means if this kind of volcanic eruption is happening in this region, so metals will not able to this volcanic eruption, it will not erupt, travel long distance, not going to kill large number of people, those who are staying in area. But here it will be flow to a large distance. So on this way, anything is coming, it can burn down and kill that. So that is the reason we have to understand all these things. So explosiveness, so whenever they erupt, how explosively they are erupting, how much they are ejecting their material. For example, whenever there is a violent eruption, it can throw away huge amount of ashes, dust, pyroclastic material in case of acidic, andesitic or composite lava. So highly explosive can produce pyroclast. Pyroclast means material that is composed of half burn solid material, liquid material, some of the rock samples also, they are called pyroclastic material. So spread easily over a large area. So yes, they are less explosive. Here they are very solid, very liquid. जो हमारा basic lava होती है, they are very basic fluid. So they can peacefully erupt without causing much damage. मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ एक image, आपको बड़ा interesting लगेगा. क्या लिख रहा हूँ मुझे भी नहीं समझ में आ रहा, दिख को जब कीवर्ड आएगा तब देख पाएंगे. You can see all this eruption happening here. You can see volcanic eruption is happening. People are standing near to here. People are standing. Volcanic eruption is happening. So this is what possible in case of only. You can see here. I think some image there. देखो, you can see here volcanic eruption is happening and people are sitting and taking photos because दिस काइंड ऑफ वॉल्केनिक इरप्शन आर क्वाइट पीसफुल, लाइक यू नो धीरे धीरे इमर्ज होती है, लेकिन वंस देयर इज इरप्शन द वॉल्केनिक मटेरियल, द लिक्विड मटेरियल, दे कैन ट्रैवल वेरी फास्ट. सो ये आप देख सकते हो धीरे धीरे इरप्शन होके वो निकलती है. बट सम ऑफ द वॉल्केनो दे आर वेरी वायलेंट, ऐसे टाइप की स्प्रेड होती है. दिस इज ए क्लासिक एग्जाम्पल ऑफ vesic lava. It's spreading very fast, but eruption is very peaceful. But on the other hand, acidic lava, though they are very violent, जब वो eruption होती है बड़े violent eruption होती है, but they cannot travel long distance. This characteristics is very important. थोड़े बहुत आपको समझना पड़ेगा, ठीक है. So वायलेंट वॉल्केनिक इरप्शन अगर आप एक बार सर्च करें, मैं कीबोर्ड लगा दूंगा तो हो पाएगा. इसमें थोड़े से इशू आ रहा है मुझे अभी भी, ठीक है. धीरे धीरे सॉर्टिंग कर लेंगे, डोंट वरी, ठीक है. आगे बढ़ते हैं ऊपर से. चलो मैं थोड़ा सा पढ़ाने के टाइम पे बहुत गूगल दिखाता हूँ, इमेज दिखाता हूँ ताकि बच्चे को अच्छे लगता है, बट थोड़े से इसके साथ भी एक्सपेरिमेंट करेंगे, डोंट वरी. सो लैंडफॉर्म शिफ्ट, द लैंडफॉर्म हियर फॉर्म बिकॉज ऑफ दिस वॉल्केनिक एक्टिविटी. सो फॉर्म्स स्टीप साइडेड कोन्स. यहाँ पे जो कोन्स बनती है जो वॉल्केनिक इरप्शन की वजह से, वो बड़े स्टीप साइडेड होती है, हाइट बहुत ज़्यादा होती है, स्टीप साइडेड होती है. यहाँ पर बड़े वायलेंटली इरप्शन होती है, बहुत सारे मटेरियल्स इजेक्ट करके डालती है, एंड यहाँ पर लेयर बाय लेयर बैठ जाता है, तो कंपोजिट टाइप ऑफ वोल्केनो बनती है. बट फ्रॉम ब्रॉड जेंटली स्लोपिंग सील्ड वोल्केनो, यहाँ पर क्या होता है वोल्केनिक मटेरियल दे वेरी जेंटल्स, बिकॉज इफ देयर इज अ वोल्केनिक इरप्शन लिक्विड मटेरियल, सो दे कैन इजीली फ्लो डाउनवर्ड, दे कैन इजीली फ्लो डाउनवर्ड्स. ऑल दिस वोल्केनिक मटेरियल दे कैन इजीली फ्लो downward. So because of that sealed type of volcano is formed, but here steep sided cone type of volcano is formed. Okay, so example of volcano type composite volcano. आपको composite volcano क्या होता है मैं आपको समझाता हूँ. So let's say there is a so many volcanic eruptions, so they form a cone and all these solid particles they deposit here. So all these as solid particles they deposit here. Again there will be volcanic eruption, volcanic material will be there. Again this all this ashes deposit here. So that is what led to the layer by layer deposit of the material. This is what called composite volcano. मैं आपको अच्छा इमेज उसको दिखाता हूँ, रुको. composite volcano आप एक बार देखो तो आपको समझ में आएगी what is this composite volcano. बस थोड़ा सा इसका हैंड ऑन एक्सपीरियंस अच्छा हो जाए, मैं आपको बड़े अच्छे से दिखा दूँगा. यू कैन सी हियर what happen. So whenever there will be volcanic eruption, so there will be material will be deposit here, all this material they will deposit here, and all this ashes after some time they will fall down on the top of, after some time this ashes they will fall, ठीक है. इसको हम देखते हैं. तो आफ्टर सम टाइम ऑल दिस, देखो दिस volcanic eruption happens, so this material they deposit here, the volcanic liquid solid material they deposit here, and all this ashes they'll fall down. So because of that you will see layer by layer volcanic material, ash content, all these things are deposited, like layer by layer. First, because of this volcanic eruption, so this you can say this lava, it will flow here and deposit, solidify to form rock, and all this dust particles and ash particles, so they will deposit on the top of it. So layer by layer this kind of deposit will happen. So this is what called composite volcano. उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? composite volcano बोलते हैं. ठीक है. उसका क्लासिक एग्जाम्पल क्या है? सेंट हेलेंस. सेंट हेलेंस ये कहाँ है आपका? ये आपको मैपिंग में आपका होमवर्क है, यूएसए में है, एक बार मैपिंग करना है आपको. शील्ड वोल्कानो जो है मौना लाओ इन हवाई, जितने सारे हवाई मैंने आपको एक इमेज दिखाया ना, वो हवाईयन का था, तो वहाँ आपको देखने को मिलेगा. ठीक है. एक बार दोनों, दिस इज योर होमवर्क, प्लीज मैप दिस टू लोकेशन, माउंट सेंट हेलेंस एंड मौना लाओ इन हवाई. सो देयर आर सो मेनी दिस basic typic volcanic activities are found in the Hawaiian island. ठीक है. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is types of volcano. So based on the frequency of eruption, it can be active. देखो on the basis of how frequently they are erupting. So volcanic activity can be classified into multiple types. So first one is called active volcano. Active volcano means they are frequently erupting in recent geological time. So recent means not 5 year, 10 years. So it is in geological time. Geological times means thousands of years, even lakhs of years, sometimes millions of years also. So these volcanoes erupt frequently and show ongoing sign of volcanic activity such as gases emission happening. That means on the vent of this volcano, so there is a eruption constantly happening in the past, present and future. There is chances of happening also. Lava flow and seismic disturbances are happening. So location ये कहाँ आपको देखने को मिलती है? एक्टिव वोल्केनो. एक्टिव वोल्केनो बेसिकली देखने को मिलती है आपको पासिफिक रिंग ऑफ फायर. दे जनरली फाउंड ऑन द पासिफिक रिंग ऑफ फायर विच इंक्लूड न्यूजीलैंड, साउथ ईस्ट एशिया, जापान, वेस्टर्न कोस्ट ऑफ अमेरिकाज. ठीक है, सो दिस रीजन यू विल फाइंड. So next one is the Pacific Ring of Fire is highly seismically active. About 90% of the world earthquake occurring in this region because the movement and collision of tectonic plates. ठीक है, क्या अलाउ इन Hawaii is known for its volcanic activity. Then Santa Maria and Guatemala. मैं आपको एक बार दिखा देता हूँ कहाँ होती है ये जो Pacific Ring of Fire. तो उससे आपको आइडिया लगेगा why this region is very much important. तो अगर आप इसको देखोगे, ये मैप को अगर अच्छे से पढ़ोगे, so you will find, थोड़ा छोटा हो जाए तो मैं आपको अच्छे से दिखा सकता हूँ. Yes, so this region you can see the Pacific, this is the Pacific Ocean and this is the India, China. ठीक है, India, China, Russia, this region. So you can see this ring starting from here, it is moving like this. This region is very much prone to the volcanic activity. So this region is called Pacific Ring of Fire. इसीलिए उसको Pacific Ring of Fire बोलते हैं. This region is very much prone for all sort of earthquake, volcanism. 70% of all volcanic activity happen here only, and 90% of all earthquake happen here. You can understand why this is Japan. Why this Japan region is very much prone to the earthquake, tsunami, because this is located on the tri-junction. Japan कहाँ है? Tri-junction पे है. Tri-junction plate हम बात करेंगे कभी जब बात करना होगा. Plus this is in the Pacific Ring of Fire, so this region is prone to earthquake. Okay, अगर हम थोड़ा सा नीचे जाए इस रीजन का तो आपको और भी अच्छा आइडिया आएगी. ये देखो, दिस इज रीजन इज ऑल्सो एक्सटेंडिंग डाउनवर्ड ऑल्सो. मैं आपको मैप में एक बार दिखा देता हूँ तो और अच्छा आपको आइडिया आ जाएगा. Pacific Ring of Fire. ये थोड़ा सा मैं कीबोर्ड लगा दूंगा उसका. एक्चुअली यहाँ टाइप करने में बहुत सारे एरर हो जाती है. ठीक है, you can see Pacific Ring of Fire. This is what the Pacific Ring of Fire. It is starting from Australia. This is extending this region. So this region are prone to both earthquake as well as volcanic activity. So why this is happening? Because Pacific plate, this is Pacific plate, this is moving inside Eurasian plate, and here is again this is the interaction of Pacific plates with North American plate, Pacific plates with South American plates. So because of that, this region is highly prone to all sort of earthquake and volcanic activity. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. ठीक है, so generally all these active volcano are generally found on the Pacific Ring of Fire. So second type of volcano, it's called dormant volcano. So आपने पढ़े होंगे dormant means they are not active recently, but past there are eruption and future that there could be eruption of volcanic activity. So these volcano are currently inactive but not are extinct. वो inactive हो गए लेकिन extinct नहीं हुए, पूरा का पूरा गायब नहीं हुए. There are chances of reactivation of that volcano also. So they have not erupted in recent history, may erupt again in the future. So अभी तक वो eruption नहीं हुई है, maybe there are chances of eruption in future also. Example क्या है? Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. So whenever you are getting any mountain, so please just type that or select that. I am just going to show you Kilimanjaro. चलो मैं आपको करवाता हूँ. तो कैसे आप करोगे? जब भी कोई माउंटेन को आपको ढूंढना होता है तो आप गूगल अर्थ पे खोलना होता है. बिकॉज आई एम नॉट डूइंग ऑल दिस थिंग्स, इट विल टेक लॉट ऑफ टाइम. ओके, माउंट किलिमंजारो, यू कैन सी माउंट किलिमंजारो. आपको एकदम रियल लाइफ में एकदम 3D एक्सपीरियंस करवा के दिलाएंगे. देखो, you can see where this location is within 1 minute. You can see very short span of time you'll understand what is there in the Mount Kilimanjaro na. if you want you can also make it small, big, ठीक है, as per your want ना. This is what Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa. ठीक है, तो थोड़ा सा इसमें मेरे को you can also see some of the image what are there in the Mount Kilimanjaro. This is what found in the Mount Kilimanjaro. You can see a mountain that is located on the equatorial region. Its base is in equatorial region, but there is a snowfall on its peak. ठीक है, yes, this is what. अच्छा, ये रोटेट हो चुकी है. ठीक है, आप देख लीजिएगा. I think you can spend some time in finding all this location and mapped in your atlas. So that is going to be very much helpful. I can you show you because it will take a lot of time. ठीक है, so आपको इसको बैठ के करना पड़ेगा जब भी कोई लोकेशन आती है. ठीक है, so this is also the highest mountain of Africa. So there can be question, there can be match the following type question, which is the highest, in terms of height, which is the highest mountain of Asia, which is the highest mountain or peak of North America. They can be give the name highest peak of North America, highest peak of South America, highest peak of Africa, highest peak of Asia also, and they will tell you match the following, or they will tell you how many of above are correct. So you have to understand that. So that is the reason while studying you have to understand what kind of question can be possible, otherwise it's very difficult if you are not linking your study with examination. So next one is, so it's classified as dormant volcano. So this is also called dormant volcano. So next category of volcano is called as extinct or inactive volcano. So these volcanoes are not active anymore. So in past there are eruption, but there is no sign of eruption at present time. So volcanoes have not erupted for very long geological time. They have no sign of future activity and considered as geological dead. उसको हम क्या मानते हैं, geological dead हो चुका है. There is no sign of volcanic eruption in future as well. Okay. So in India also we are founding, in India we found some of the location where volcanic active region. For example, you can see Deccan Plateau. So Deccan Plateau is having volcanic origin. So we are going to discuss that as we proceed little bit. So here Narcondam is extinct volcano. Barren Island, there is a recent volcanic eruption in the Barren Island. So this is only active volcano of India. इंडिया का एक एक्टिव वोल्केनो अभी है जिसका नाम है बायरन आइलैंड है. सो रिसेंटली वोल्केनिक एक्टिविटी हुई थी दिस बायरन आइलैंड पे. ठीक है, सो बाकी आप देख सकते हो. सो धीनोधर हिल्स, सो देयर इज नो साइन ऑफ फ्यूचर एक्टिविटी एंड जियोलॉजिकल डेड. So Dhinodhar Hills in Gujarat, this is also classic example. So this map is very much important. So there can be question. So which of the question like that, there is no active volcano in India. So there is no active volcano in India. Answer is wrong. There is the Barren Island is the active volcano presently. I think in 2019 or 20. So there is a volcanic eruption there happen. So from there, I think UPSC is also asking this question in previous year also. So volcanic landform. So question is that if volcanic eruption is happened, so what kind of landform it is forming on the earth. So landform that is being formed because of volcanic activity can be classified into extrusive igneous rocks. That means a rock that is formed on outside of the earth surface. This is called extrusive igneous rocks, and the landform that is formed inside the earth, it is called intrusive igneous rock. Okay, so you can see the cooling of rock occur at the surface of the earth. Example led to the formation of basalt and andesiting. So then intrusive, they are forming inside the earth. So that is what led to the formation of the granite, gabbro, diorite. Okay, so this is what, and one by one we are going to see extrusive volcanic landform. Extrusive volcanic landform means landform that is volcanic landform that is formed on the surface of the earth. Okay, one by one we are going to see. So sealed volcano. Sealed volcano means normal volcano but without having any much height. ऐसे टाइप की जब होती है, if there is a volcanic eruption and because of this material is basic, so it can flow easily and the height will be not much. जैसे ही वो eruption होती है वो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा फैल जाती है. So because of that height is not much. Okay. So the sealed volcano are largest of all volcano on the earth which are not steep. इतना height नहीं होता है because they are highly fluid. So the moment there will be eruption, so they can flow on both sides. So these volcanoes are mostly made up of basalt. किससे बनती है? Basalt. And basalt is basically composed of silicon, magnesium, small amount of iron also. ठीक है, Fe आप लिख सकते हो और इसको बोल सकते हो iron. So they become explosive if some way water gets into the vents, otherwise they are characterized by low explosivity. So generally these sealed volcanoes, they are very peaceful without having any violent activity, but anyhow if water is entering into this, the vent, so it became very explosive. Lava that is moving upward does so in fountain form and emanates from the cone at the vent of and then develop into cinder cones. ठीक है, सो इसका क्लासिक एग्जाम्पल क्या है? आपको हवाईयन सील्ड वोल्केनो आपको देखने को मिलेगा. हवाईयन में बहुत सारे वोल्केनिक एक्टिविटी, बहुत सारे वोल्केनिक माउंटेन देखने को मिलेगा. हवाईयन आइलैंड इज ए स्टेट्स, इट्स ए अमेरिकन, अंडर द अमेरिकन स्टेट. सो ये अमेरिका के कंट्रोल में है. सो दिस इज ए वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट लोकेशन फॉर अमेरिकन स्ट्रैटेजिक इंटरेस्ट. So they are controlling the Pacific fleets, Pacific naval fleets from there. So this is very much important from America security point of view. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is composite volcano. What is composite volcano? Composite volcano means they are characterized by outbreak of cooler, more viscous lavas than basalt. So here, so the volcanic eruption is happening. The material, they are very viscous. So that means there will be eruption and they will cool down very fast. So because of that, they will not flow much longer distance. So they are constructed from numerous explosive eruptions. So how composite means? There will be first layer of, let's say this is first eruption happen, this is first eruption happen. So because of that, this is formed. And second eruption, so there will be next layer is deposited. Second eruption, next layer is deposited. And after that, because of after eruption, all this ashes content and all these small debris, so they will form another layer. देखो initially all this solid material, so all this eruption material, liquid material, they solidify, and after that all this lighter element they will deposit in between layer. So again there will be a volcanic eruption, so there will be material will come from, so both sides. So this is the big reason. So there will be layer by layer formation of volcanic material, then ashes, dust particle, again volcanic eruption, again ashes, dust particles and pyroclastic material. So this is what led to the formation of composite volcano. So this material gather near to the vent opening, resulting, so you can see this material gather near the vent opening, resulting in creation of layers. ठीक है, so example है Mayon volcano in Philippines, Mount Fuji in Japan, then Mount Rainier in Washington are example of composite volcano. Please map this location. आप कैसे मैप को लोकेशन करोगे? गूगल अर्थ खोलना है और माउंट फुजी, जैसे ये आप देखो माउंट फुजी इन जापान, तो आपको क्या करना है? गूगल अर्थ को खोलना है. प्लीज लोकेट ऑल दिस मैप. विदाउट लोकेटिंग दैट यू विल नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड एनीथिंग. ठीक है, माउंट फुजी, फुजी इन जापान. देखो आपको आ गया ना, माउंट फुजी जापान. ठीक है, दिस इज आई थिंक आपका मोबाइल में जूम बड़े अच्छे से होगा. ठीक है, तो जापान का एक है. बड़े यहाँ तो ओपन नहीं हो रहा अच्छा खासा. यू कैन सी ऑल दिस इमेज ऑफ माउंट फुजी इन जापान. सो दिस इज द माउंटेन, यू कैन सी. ठीक है, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is the major composite volcano chains are Pacific Rim, known as Pacific Rim of Fire, Pacific Ring of Fire. So different people call different names. Pacific Ring of Fire also called. So third type of form is flood basalt provinces. क्या उसको बोलते हैं? Flood basalt provinces. वो क्या होती है मैं आपको बताता हूँ. एक मिनट बस दे दो. चलो, फ्लड बासल्ट प्रोविंसेस क्या होती है? व्हेनेवर देयर इज ए there is a cracks, there is a weak in between two plates, and there is a hotspot volcano below that. There will be a hotspot volcano and there is a crack. So because of that, volcanic activity very peacefully, volcanic material or all this volcanic activity happens along this weak zone, and that is what led to the flooding of volcano layer by layer. देखो दोनों weak zone थी and नीचे एक hotspot volcano था. Because of that constant eruption of volcano, and that is what led to the layer by layer deposit and formation of this type of flawed basalt provinces. So flawed basalt provinces volcano discharge highly fluid lava that flow a long distance. Many part of the worlds are covered by thick basalt lava flow. It's a classic example is Deccan Trap. Deccan Trap. So Deccan Trap is formed because of flawed basalt provinces. Okay. So next one is about the mid-oceanic ridges. Already we have discussed about the mid-oceanic ridges. So here you can see there will be a rising link of convection current. So because of that, new volcanic material is brings here, and then it is pushing these plates on both direction, and then plate is melt down and again they supply. So this is what called convection current. Okay. So there exists a system of mid-oceanic ridges stretching 70,000 km all through the ocean basin. Central region of this region get frequent eruptions. ठीक है. So और क्या हमें देखने को मिलती है? What kind of other extrusive landform that we have found on the surface of earth? This is called caldera. उसको क्या बोलते हैं? Caldera. मैं आपको बता देता हूँ. देखो, let's say this is a volcanic activity. This is a volcanic activity happening, and the opening vent through which all this material is coming out of the surface is called crater. क्या उसको बोलते हैं? Crater. Let's say this is what happening, but what happens for some days, some years, there is no volcanic activity. So because of that, there is a closing of this vent, and next time if there is a volcanic eruption happen, so it will break down and take away this much portion. आपका ये क्या करेगा? Break down करके just imagine करो. हाँ, it will take down this much portion, and the opening vent became very big, and that is what called caldera. Whenever in subsequent eruption, it will take away all this top portion and forming a big vent, and this vent is called caldera. And whenever the water is deposited here, this is called caldera lake. उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? Caldera lake. उसको हम caldera lake बोलते हैं. And if water is deposited in the crater of this volcano, this is called crater lake. Crater lake and caldera lakes. ठीक है? So these are the few extrusive volcanic landform that found on the surface of earth. चलिए मैं आपको देखता हूँ कुछ intrusive volcanic landform that is also found. So intrusive landform you can see. If you see inside the earth, so this is the type of volcanic landform you will find inside. You can see the big stock of volcanic material found on the surface. They are called batholith. क्या उसको बोलते हैं? Batholith. These words are very important. Please remember. There can be match the batholith, LITH. ठीक है, batholith. So there can be match the following type questions. So there can be a few names and explain the types of rock. So please study very carefully. So batholith is big stock of rock found on the bottom of any volcanic eruptions. ठीक है, so batholith we have discussed so far. Batholith is this portion. So next one is about the laccolith. Laccolith is just like the mushroom shape. वो कैसे shape में होती है? Mushroom shape पे एक peak होती है. Mushroom shape की एक peak होती है like that. ठीक है? This type of structure is called laccolith. Laccolith अगर आप example देखोगे, this structure is called laccolith. I think you can see it carefully if you are seeing. This is called laccolith. उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? laccolith बोलते हैं. So laccolith is just like the mushroom. आप देख सकते हो mushroom को shape में जो होती है उसको बोलते हैं laccolith. You can see whenever there is a laccolith, so there is a lifting of this land on the top of it. It is believed that the Karnataka plateau is staying over a laccolith. जब laccolith होती है, it's like a umbrella का top कैसे होती है? Rising portion होती है. So that is what led to the creation of a plateau. It is believed that Karnataka is staying over a laccolith. So next important thing is sit and sill. Sit क्या होता है? If you can see here, this is what called sill, and if it is same thing, if it is very parallel to the rocks, then it is called sill, or it can call sheet. If it is very thin, it is can called sheet. If it is thick, it can called sill. So there is no difference apart from that on the basis of thickness. If it is very thin, then we can call sheet. If it is little bit of thicker, we can call this as a sill. Okay. The next is लोपोलिथ. लोपोलिथ इज लाइक ए सॉसर शेप. सॉसर शेप कैसे होती है? दिस इज व्हाट दिस सॉसर शेप. इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? लोपोलिथ. क्या बोलते हैं उसको? लोपोलिथ. मैं आपको एग्जांपल दिखा देता हूँ लोपोलिथ कैसे होती है. आई थिंक नहीं होगा यहाँ कहीं, है या नहीं है? लोपोलिथ मीन्स दिस शेप ऑफ rock when formed, they are called lopolith. Okay, and they are saucer shape and concave to sky. देखो concave, यहाँ से आप देखते तो cave की तरफ आपको दिखती है ना, ठीक है, concave to the sky. So next one is about the phacolith. phacolith क्या होता है? They are wavy structure. phacolith मतलब जैसे wavy structure में जब होती है rock formation होती है, उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? phacolith. I think वही होगा phacolith. Yes, I think है ही नहीं यहाँ, ठीक है. So these are the few you can say the intrusive landform. You have to remember that. So in examination there can be match the following type questions. So next one is about the dikes. Dikes क्या होता है? अगर ये structure है, ये you can see about this is what called dikes. This is vertically rising. देखो normal rock structure is like that. Normal rock structure is like that. If any rock is formed vertically or 90 degree to this rock structure, in that case we can call this as a dikes. Okay, जैसे dikes हमारा क्या होता है? डैम में dikes होती है. So this is basically vertical structure to stop the flowing of water, which is called dikes. Okay, so you can see the when lava come out through the cracks and fissure, they solidify almost perpendicular to the ground, forming wall-like structure called dikes. For example, Deccan Traps in Maharashtra regions. So next one is the distribution of volcanoes. So if you see about the world map, so there will be a similarity in the distribution of volcano and distribution of earthquake. That means regions that is prone to the earthquake also prone to the volcanic activity. But you know, some regions there is severe earthquake without having any volcano activity. For example, our Himalayan regions. So this region is having prone to the severe earthquake, but not having severe volcanism. Why this happen? Because of continent and continent plate interaction. So though both are raising upward. If plate is not moving inside the earth, there will be no volcanic activity. You can see here this region is called Pacific Ring of Fire. ये जो region है वो Pacific Ring of Fire बोलते हैं. This region is prone to both earthquake and volcanism. Majority of the things happen. It is said that 70% of the earthquake occur in circum-Pacific belts. ठीक है. So 20% of the earthquake takes place in the Mediterranean Himalayan belt, including Asia Minor. So this Mediterranean region, so this is also very much prone to the earthquake. This region up to Himalaya is also prone to the severe earthquake. That also include Turkey region also. So third one is belt of highest concentration of Aleutian and Kuril. So Aleutian Kuril कहाँ है? ये जो region है Aleutian Kuril, this region is highly prone. This is Pacific Ring of Fire. So in that Aleutian Kuril is prone to high level of earthquake. The Melanesia, New Zealand, Tonga belts, and only 10 to 20% of all volcanic activity above the sea level or and terrestrial level. So that means only 10 to 20% of all volcanic activity happening on the land, and majority case like 80 to 90% of the volcanic activity are happening within ocean. So we can say this, from there can be good question. Majority of volcanic activity are happening in the land. Answer is wrong. No, majority of, what about majority? It's 80 to 90% of all volcanic activity are happening within the ocean. ठीक है? This is the reason there can be a good question also. अगर हम earthquake का proper zone देखें तो हमें 3 zone मिलती है. The zone that is prone to the earthquake. First one is about the Pacific Ring of Fire. Second one is about the Mediterranean region, and third one region is anywhere in the world. And the volcanic activity, you can see this region is like Pacific Ring of Fire is known for its volcanic activity. Second one is mid-oceanic ridges, lot of volcanic activity found, and it is seen that 80 to 90% of the volcanic activity are happening below the ocean. ठीक है, चलो. बढ़िया सब डियर स्टूडेंट, आवाज़ आ रहा है, समझ में आ रहा है, कोई इशू नहीं है. प्लीज़ लेट मी नो, विदाउट योर कॉमेंट इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर मी. अगर आपको समझ में आ रहा है, कहीं प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है, प्लीज़ लेट मी नो. So Pacific, the circum-Pacific region, also popularly known as Pacific Ring of Fire, is highest concentration of active volcanoes. So volcano welts and earthquake are closely overlap along the Pacific Ring of Fire. So that means Pacific Ring of Fire is not only known for its earthquake but also for its volcanism, and they are overlap. That means एक जगह पे दोनों चीज़ें होती हैं. So Aleutian Islands, Kamchatka, Japan, Philippines, Indonesia, Java and Sumatra. So all this region are known for their earthquake and volcanism. Okay. So Pacific Islands में आप देख सकते हो बहुत सारे रीजन पे होती है. ठीक है. So you can see first, if you see about the volcanic eruption, highest volcanic eruption found on the Pacific Ring of Fire. ठीक है. So just like the earthquake, second important region where you find majority of the volcanic eruption, it is the Mediterranean region. So before discussing that, let me tell you why this Mediterranean region is prone to volcanism. So हमने पढ़े थे during our continental drift theory. So this big landmass was there. So this is called Pangaea. The big landmass was there. This is called Pangaea. And Pangaea is surrounded by big ocean. This is called Panthalaza. This Pangaea is break down into two parts. Northern part is called Laurentian, southern part is called Gondwana, and between there is a sea. It is called Tethys Sea. क्या था उसका नाम? Tethys. And this African landmass, this African continent keep on moving towards north, and it collide with the Eurasian landmass. जो अफ्रीकन में आपको एक बार इमेज दिखा देता हूँ तो आपको समझ में आएगी बड़े अच्छे से. कॉन्टिनेंटल ड्रिफ्ट. You can see here, this is what called Pangaea, and Pangaea break down. Then this Eurasia and Africa, the sea is located between, it's called Tethys Sea. जो sea दोनों के बीच में था उसका नाम क्या था? Tethys Sea था. Okay, so gradually this African continent keep on moving towards Eurasian continent. This African continent keep on moving towards Eurasian continent and collide with this Eurasian continent, and because of that these plates are broken into small plates, and these plates are moving in different directions. So that is what makes this Mediterranean region prone to the earthquake and volcanism. मैं और एक बार बता देता हूँ. So you can see this is the Pangaea, and this sea is called Tethys Sea, and this is what located between the Eurasia and Africa. And with passage of time, this Africa moved towards north, and it start colliding with Eurasian plates, and because of that this plates is broken into small plates, and these plates are moving in different directions, and this is what makes this region prone to the earthquake and volcanic activity. ठीक है. You can see this description is given here. So the volcano of this broad region largely result of convergent between Eurasian, because of Eurasian plates, and northward moving of American plates. So American plates move northward and collide. That is what led to the happen. So this type of volcanism mainly due to breaking of Mediterranean plates, multiple plates due to interaction of African and Eurasian plates. Whenever African plates collide with Eurasian plates, so that is what led to the breakdown of this Mediterranean plates into small plates, and small plates they are moving different direction, and that is what led to the interaction, and this region is prone to the earthquake and volcanism. Okay, so you can see, so volcano of Mediterranean region are mainly associated with alpine fold, and for example Vesuvius. यहाँ बहुत सारे आपको वॉल्केनिक एक्टिविटी देखने को मिलेगी, वॉल्केनिक लोकेशन देखने को मिलेगी, जैसे माउंट वेसुवियस, माउंट स्ट्रोम्बली. माउंट स्ट्रोम्बली को क्या बोलते हैं? लाइट हाउस ऑफ मेडिटेरेनियन, बिकॉज इफ यू सी द पीक ऑफ माउंट स्ट्रोम्बली, सो इस पीक इज ऑलवेज इन ग्लोइंग लाइट, सो दैट इज द रीजन पीपल कॉल दिस एज ए लाइट हाउस ऑफ मेडिटेरेनियन. ठीक है ना. एंड दोज ऑफ Asian islands. So please map. It's a Mount Etna, Mount Sardinia. So all this location you have to map. Okay. So second other reason of volcanic activity you find. So third region of volcanic activity they have found is called Atlantic coast. So in contrast, the Atlantic coast have comparatively few active volcanoes but many dormant or extinct volcanoes. So Saint Helena, Cape Verde Island. So ये अगर आप मैप करना एक एक करके सेंट हेलेना कहाँ है बोलोगे तो मैं दिखा दूंगा, बट आपको मैप करना है एक एक को ना. सेंट हेलेना, ये बड़े स्लो होती है, ठीक है. ओ नो पूरा आप लोग का लोकेशन भी पता चल जाएगा मेरे को, मेरा लोकेशन भी. चलो अब नहीं करेंगे, इसका गड़बड़ी है, ठीक है. तो एक बार देख लेना सेंट हेलिना कहाँ गया. ये सेंट हेलिना कहाँ है एंड केप बर्ड आइलैंड्स कहाँ है, कैनेडी आइलैंड का है. अगर नीचे आएगी तो मैं आपको दिखा दूंगा. कैनेडी आइलैंड इज नोन फॉर इट्स famous because there is a current associated with it. It's called Canary current. Okay, so but volcano of Iceland and Azores are active. So West Indian island, so the West Indies जो country होती है वहाँ के जितने सारे islands होते हैं they are also volcanic. So Great Rift region, so Africa का जो eastern side होती है this is called Great Rift Valley region, also known for volcanic activity. ठीक है. So having discussed all these things, so volcanism and volcanic eruption has happened repeatedly. So what are the effects, क्या इसका effect पड़ती है इंसान पे, उसके बारे में एक बार बात कर लेते हैं. So first, the volcanic impact is multidimensional. It can be environment, it can be social impact, economic, geological and scientific impacts. So play dual role. Some of the activities of volcano, it's positive, constructive, helpful. Some of activities are not that helpful. So we are going to see one by one. So environmental impact. So helpful in landscape formation. So create mountain, because some of the mountain is volcanic mountain. So this is a volcanic mountain, so it create mountain. It create plateaus. So if this volcanic eruption is basaltic, then after eruption it can flow and form a plateau like tabletop lands. Plateau means tabletop. It is not a mountain but it is a tabletop like height. ठीक है. So next, it can form islands. Already we have seen volcanic eruptions led to the formation of island arc and mountain chains also. So other geological features can be formed. ठीक है. So this is what landscape formation. So climate impact. देखो, whenever there is a volcanic eruption, lot of sulfur material it can erupt to the atmosphere, and sulfur is acting like a cooling effect. If any sunlight is falling on the surface, it can reflect back. So it is being seen that after big volcanic eruption there is a cooling effect on the atmosphere and environment. जब कोई volcanic eruption होती है उसके बाद cooling effect आ जाती है. तो it is seen that after repeated big volcanic activity, earth became cooler also, and on the other hand it can also warm the atmosphere also. If volcanic activity led to the eruption of lot of greenhouse gas, temperature of earth can be increased, and that is what led to the warming effect also. And you know that volcanic material, they contain lot of minerals. Whenever they are added to the soil, that increase the fertility of the soils. Volcanic ash enrich soil with essential minerals, adding it is good for agriculture. Ecosystem changes, so alter the habitat. Some species thrive, other are displaced or endangered. ठीक है. So impact, its impact on human impact. So definitely, so this is a violent incident. So loss of lives and property. Some of the cities became wiped out because of volcanic eruption. Some of these people, while they are sleeping, there is a violent eruption and entire city is engulfed by this volcanic activity. So some of the cities are wiped out because of this volcanic activity. Health hazard because of the hazardous gas, ash content, sulfur dioxide lead to the respiratory issue and water contaminations. This gas, if you inhale, it is very poisonous. It's bad for your health also. So next is displacement. Some of the community are faced temporary or permanent relocations due to volcanic risk. So economic effects, like damage to our infrastructure, to these it can cause infrastructure damage. For example, road, bridge, it can damage, but it can bring some of benefits because volcanic activity led to the some of benefit things. For example, it can be a tourist destination. Volcanic sites attract tourists, creating job revenue for local economy. I think all this hot spring where hot water is coming from the bottom of the bottom of the earth crust. This is formed region that is prone to the volcanic activity. So resource availability, देखो whenever volcanic eruption happen, so mineral rich rock is coming to the surface and they are very good for economic development and mineral and mines. So you can see supply valuable material like sulfur, pumice and basalt for industrial use. So geology and hydrological effect. So landslide, tsunami triggered by the eruption or collapse of volcanic structure, specifically underwater. So whenever there is a underwater, within water or ocean, if huge amount of volcanic eruption happens, so that is what led to the happening of tsunami also. Tsunami is very devastating. So next is hydrological changes, can alter river path, form new lakes. For example, caldera lakes, so we have seen caldera, the crater, the cone shape, this is called crater. उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? Crater बोलते हैं. अगर ये चीज़ों को ब्लास्ट होके ऊपर को उठ जाता है, and subsequent this is big size is called caldera, crater and caldera. ठीक है? So next one is about the cultural and scientific impact. So cultural side, some of the you can say the hot water like Taptapani and there are Manikaran. So all this region are known for cultural religious significance. So many volcano hold sacred historical importance to local population and scientific research, because we have never ever visited inside the earth. Whenever there is a volcanic eruption, it provide a lot of valuable information to us to study about earth interior. So long term global effect, so it can lead to the climate change, because whenever there is a volcanic eruption, lot of greenhouse gas can be emitted and that is having very negative impact on the atmosphere. So super volcano erupt led to the long term global cooling or warming impact. ठीक है? Earth evolution. So volcano contributed to land creation, atmospheric evolution and recycling of element vital for the life. देखो, this volcanism is actually creating new landform and destroying old landform. So this cycle is continuously creating, destroying, and it is also providing nutrient, minerals, rocks. So by seeing all these things, we can say volcanism is essential part. It is keep on going. It is going to be happen in the future also. So this is the reason we have to study all these things. So this is a diagram. It is showing that whenever there is a volcanic eruption, some of the sulfur particles. So sulfur particles is light and white. So if it is floating in the atmosphere, it reflects a lot of sunlight. So because of that, there is a cooling effect. So mini ices. It is said that if repeatedly volcanic eruption will happen for a long period of time, there will be a mini ice age. So in that ice age, there will be cooling effects. Okay? So or on the other side, on the other hand, if repeated volcanic eruption will happen, so lot of eruption of volcanic, you can say greenhouse gas like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, that is also lead to the rising temperature, which is also contribute to the global warming. So dear student, this is all about today class. So we'll have to end our class here, and from tomorrow we'll discuss about the earthquakes. Okay dear student, and in case you are having any doubt, you can let me know, and you can reach out to me, or you can in this number 7217630385. And any of student, if interested in joining our foundation batch, you can also message me in this number, and limited number of seats is available for offline and online. So we are not taking too much of student. So please reach out in case you are interested. Otherwise, if one seat is filled, we are not going to consider further. Chaliye dear student, bye bye, take care, Jai Hind.